Hello everyone, welcome to another Jamel Fields tip of the day. And on this video, I'm going to be covering the 4 personality types that you will see in the industry of multi-level marketing and in your everyday life. Once you learn the different personality types that people fall in, you'll be able to build a phenomenal empire here in the industry of multi-level marketing. So what I want you to do is quickly grab pen and paper, take notes on this information, and I hope you apply it.
What I'm going to be covering here on this video is the 4 personality types. And once you understand this information, you can absolutely build a dynasty business because we're in the business of people relationships, and you must understand people in order to build a multi-level marketing business. And so once you understand this information that I'm about to cover here, you can build a phenomenal business here in the industry of multi-level marketing. Once I understood this information, my income grew by leaps and bounds. And so now I'm beginning to share this information with you all. So as you're taking notes, you want to definitely write out this chart to have the 4 different corners on your paper. And as you can see, you have open at the top, close at the bottom, indirect on the left, and direct on your right. And I'm going to cover what this information absolutely means. And so you want to definitely take some notes on this information. And so as you see in the top left corner, you're going to write down the yellows. Now, the yellow personality types, they actually love to help people. These are people who are great listeners. They actually are great supporters. They love talking about their friends and family. They like to build relationships first. So you want to take your time with the yellows because they like to actually get to know you and get to build a relationship with you. And so you definitely want to understand that. They don't like pushy and aggressive people. All right? Yellows are also, they talk a little slower. And so when you're talking to a yellow, you want to talk to them about how much you care and how they'll be able to help thousands of other people. And now you're beginning to speak their language. They're typically nurses and teachers and, civil rights movers and things like that. They like to do things that's associated with helping people. And so they definitely like, they're not confrontational. They like things that are just, easy going. So you look at the top right with the blues. Blues are open. They like building relationships as well. But blues love to have fun. Blues are the life of the party. Blues are the ones when you go to events, they standing on top of tables and chairs and dancing and having a good time. You don't need to go over all the details with the blues because they like, they like things very fast. They talk a lot faster. They move a lot faster. And so you want to talk to them excitedly about, the prizes and vacations. And so when you edifying and promoting events to blues, you let them know how much fun they're going to be having because that's their main focus. They are social butterflies, but they don't like routines. And so many blues, they may jump around from various business opportunities because once something gets bored to them, they move on to the next thing because they like to, continuously have an exciting life and they like to have a lot of fun. They typically do not like work that requires sitting behind a desk. So this industry is great for blues because they like meeting new people. They love to talk. And a blue would actually sit and talk all day long. If you ask them a question about themselves, they'll start talking and they probably won't stop talking because a blue loves to talk and be the life of the party, center of attention. And blues also like recognition. Now look at the bottom left. Let's talk about the greens. They like to make their own decisions. Greens, they definitely like to be right. This is the analytical group. They like to do a lot of research. They are very structured and organized. These are the people who, they like things a certain way and they like it their way. You want to give the green the information they need so they can go and do their own research. They're not social butterflies. They typically like to stick to themselves. They prefer to work independently. They need to sell themselves. You don't have to sell a green on the business. Just give them all the facts and the figures and everything about your opportunity so they can do the research themselves. But these are typical analysts, programmers. They like detail-oriented jobs. They like to be able to, have their calculators and have all the numbers and specifics so they can do their research. And so those are the greens. They like to be right. They're more task-oriented. They like to get to the task and, have their job done. Now, reds, these are highly motivated people by money. When you're talking to a red, you definitely want to get straight to the point. They're definitely task-oriented as well. They like to get straight to business and take care of business, and you can motivate them with money. These are the people who, when they're looking at your opportunity, you want to be talking about the compensation plan, how much money they can make. The red, they like to be the boss. They like to, they like to feel like they're in control. So you want to promote that aspect of the business to them. They need very little information. So you don't want to get into all the information about the products and service and all that kind of stuff. Get straight to the money. Show them how they can get paid. They want to be in control, and they're typically not coachable. Now you can coach a red, but you have to know how to coach and motivate a red because they typically think they know a little bit more than you probably. They're not the best listeners. They're opposite of yellows. Yellows are great listeners. Reds are not. They want to get to the point and get the job done. These are typical leadership roles. They have jobs that actually allow them to delegate tasks. And so when you're working with a red, you have to understand they like to delegate tasks. They like to have a sense of control. And that's why many of them are in this industry because they probably don't like taking instructions from their boss. And so when you're talking to a red and you hear them say things like, I want to be my own boss. I don't like taking instructions. I don't like being told what to do. You know that's a red. Now, what I want you to remember is that each one of us have all 4 of these personality types in us, but one personality type is dominant more than the others. And so when you meet people, you'll be able to tell which personality type is the dominant personality type, but we all have a little bit of each one. And so what you want to become over the course of time is a chameleon. You want to have all 4 of these personality types within you where someone can't detail what personality type you are. And when you get to that point, that means you have become a people's person, and you will be building a phenomenal business in the industry of multi-level marketing. I know I went over that information very, very quickly, but if you rewatch this information, definitely understand each one of those different personality types, and you can build a phenomenal business here in the industry of multi-level marketing. Thanks for tuning into this information. I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
I hope you liked the video, and I hope it helps you. I hope you had a lot of fun watching me on this video. I hope you took some copious notes from this video. Apply the information to your business. I don't care whether you like the video or not. I think it was a great training, and I give it 2 thumbs up.